Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Pranjal.
Very good evening. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. So
Okay.
I can't recall. Have we talked before? Or are we talking for the first time?
Yeah, this is the first time that we are having a conversation.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you've been with Clapingo for quite some time now. How many months?
How many months? Like, I think it's been yeah, 5 or 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, quite some time. Right.
Yeah, quite some time.
So can you tell me something about yourself if you're not already sick of giving your introduction?
And no, I'm gonna tell you a bit about myself.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
my name is Pranjal. I'm basically from Uttarakhand, and these days,
Hmm.
currently, I've been living Noida for my work.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
so I'm working in Tech Mahindra right now. So that's it all
Hmm.
about me.
Okay, right. So you are in the IT field. You work in the IT industry.
Yeah, it's an IT company, but I'm taking care of the semi IT department, not just a complete IT department. Yeah, semi IT department that I'm just taking care of.
Okay, so what exactly is your job role?
Basically, my job role is to entertain customers, to address customers' queries regarding the technical issues. If customer having any of the issue regarding the technical devices, right?
Hmm.
So they just coordinate with us, and then we resolve their issues. This is the exact work that
Right.
I do there.
So your job role is more related to customer service rather than taking care
Not
of
just a
technical.
not
Hmm.
just a customer service. My job role is I am an associate technical advisor over there.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So we
So you do
basically deal
have.
with the
Okay, yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, so we basically deal with the business clients, not just residential clients. So
Okay.
Tech Mahindra always and always deal with the deals with the business clients only.
Hmm. Right. That makes sense. So that sounds fascinating. I mean, you are doing justice to your technical knowledge. It's not just lying redundant. And you are able to interact with people, figure out what their needs are, and then you have to deliver on those needs. Make sure
Yeah,
that this information gets conveyed to the right people in your organization.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure this job must be enhancing your personality quite a bit. Have you gotten better at reading people?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So
This
I said that this job role must be enhancing your personality because any job that requires to deal with people, it makes you more mature. It makes you sensitive to the needs of the other person that you're talking to because you have to pay attention to other people, right? Yeah.
definitely,
So my
definitely.
question was, have you gotten good at reading other people? Are you able to read their language? What are the expectations? Are you able to guess
Yeah,
what
basically
they
we deal.
want?
So
Hmm.
basically we deal with the we deal with the foreigner customers. We do not deal with the Indian customers.
Okay,
So
that's even more difficult.
yeah, that's even more difficult actually, and it's an
Hmm.
international process, so Indian customer that we don't get it.
Hmm.
Sometime I would say sometime we are able to read them, sometimes we are unable to read them, we can say that, because
Yeah,
some issues that you cannot, because in customer service you cannot resolve 100% issues of the customer. To be very honest, you
that's true.
cannot give the
Yeah.
100% satisfaction to your customers, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
No,
sometime, yeah, we
I'm
can
not
say.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how do
continue,
you
ma'am.
interact with these? How do you interact with these people? Do you talk to them face to face, or do you have an audio only interaction?
We
Because
have
it's a
only
completely different thing if you're interacting with foreigners.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
we only coordinate with them like through audios,
Okay.
through yeah, through telephones, I would say. So that's it.
Hmm.
Not there
All
is no
right.
video call or nothing at all,
Okay.
and through chat as
Now
well.
your job is, yeah, now your job becomes progressively difficult because with an audio only call out through a chat, you can't really guess what the other person needs. You have to ask them questions, right? So
Definitely.
do you regularly face people who are very difficult or who are very demanding and you have to calm them down?
Yeah, ma'am, it happens many times. Like often it happens like in the customer service, sometimes you get irate customers, sometimes you get
Hmm.
calm calm customers, cool customers. So
Hmm.
it happens many
Hmm.
times. When customer
Hmm.
having serious or major issues, so it's their
Yeah.
rights to get angry. So you cannot do
Yeah.
anything. So but
Yeah.
being a customer agent or being a customer executive associate, you
Hmm.
just need to you just need to resolve your customers queries. That's it. You cannot argue with your
Yeah.
customers. You cannot just you say something which is not appropriate in terms of customer
Hmm.
service, right? So just
Hmm.
listen them properly, just apologize them if there is any issue from
Hmm.
your end. So just
Hmm.
apologize them and just try to give them a resolution. That's it. Yeah, sometimes we get it,
Yeah.
sometimes we get it. It's a customer service and it's
Okay.
a part of customer service. You get
Hmm.
100 types of customer, different mentalities of customer, right? So
Hmm.
sometimes
And
it
I think
happens.
tackling with difficult people must be an essential part of your training. Was it a big part of your training, or is it something that you picked up on the job?
No, it's a part of a training. How can you handle irate customers as well? If you get irate customer, how can you handle them? How can you make them satisfied? How can you make them calm?
Hmm.
How can you resolve their queries if the customer is completely irate or customer is not ready to understand you, right? So
Hmm.
what kind of a rebuttals, what kind of a tips and a tricks that you can follow over there,
Hmm.
over the call, to make them understand
Hmm.
that, sir, we are here to help you.
Yeah. So, do you remember the first time you handled a difficult customer, and how did it affect you emotionally?
uh, Ma'am, before this company I was working in Policy Bazaar, so I would like to tell you
Okay.
one incident which happened over there when I was working there. So there was a
Hmm.
customer, I think, yeah, I think he was the CEO of the company, right? So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah,
Big. So
so
important person.
it's a very important person.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he wanted to purchase term insurance, so I was working there in a
Okay.
term insurance department. So
Hmm.
he just visited Policy Bazaar website, and then I just called him, and I gave my introduction to him that I'm working in this
Hmm.
company and I'm calling you from this organization, sir. Okay,
Hmm.
so at that moment I think he was like quite angry, or he was quite disturbed at that moment. And
Hmm.
he literally said something that I cannot tell you here, but yeah, he
Okay.
said something and I was like, oh my god, this is something that,
He said
no,
something inappropriate. Did he abuse
inappropriate.
or some? Okay.
Not,
Okay.
he was
Right.
a business client, so he didn't abuse me, but yeah, he was a little bit
Okay.
angry at that moment. So I said,
Okay.
sir, sir, give me just, sir, you visited our Policy Bazaar website, right? You need a
Hmm.
term insurance, you are looking for an insurance, so that's why I've called you, right? So this is
Hmm.
that I said over there, and I just took 5 or 10 minutes to explain every and each thing to him, right? And after that
Hmm.
he purchased that term insurance from me.
Oh.
And
Oh. That's
yeah,
a big
and
achievement.
yeah, and I just made him quite satisfied. I just made him quite calm as well. First I apologized, like, so then he apologized at the end of the call. He apologized like,
Okay.
Pranjal, I said something that I didn't want to say, but
Hmm.
I was going through in some situation that that's why
Hmm.
I said something. So then he
Yeah,
apologized.
that's a major victory. I'm feeling so happy for you,
Yeah,
because
thank you, man.
sometimes when people when they are in a state of panic, and even if they're angry, there is usually something that is giving them a lot of stress. That's why they are reacting that way. If you can calm such a person down successfully, that's a huge achievement. You were able to calm him down, and you actually closed the deal. You closed the sale also. So
Definitely, man.
that's brilliant. So how did you
That
feel after that? You must have felt like you won a battle or something, won a major war.
yeah, that kind of a feeling that at that moment I was like, I was feeling at that moment. Oh my god, yeah. But
Hmm.
what was the major part? Like when he said sorry and when he apologized to me at the end of the call, that is
Hmm.
a big achievement for me. You know,
Yeah.
whether customer purchasing something from you or not doesn't matter. You cannot
Hmm.
give everything to your customer all the time. If you face
Yes.
100 customers, so you cannot you cannot sell 100 products to your every customer. But if you
Hmm.
but if you make your customers realize that am I right? Right? Is this
Yeah.
right?
Make your customers realize. If you can make your customers realize, that's correct.
Yeah. Or if you may make your customer realize that yes, sir, I am here to help you. So that's enough. That's enough.
Okay, right. So you made that person conscious of his mistake by just by the fact that you were calm,
Yeah.
right? And that
Right.
person started feeling that I'm not treating this person correctly, and
Right.
that's why he was motivated to apologize. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's awesome. And sometimes, I mean, even if you handle this situation successfully, did you feel any sense of trauma afterwards that, oh my God, what happened to me? It could have gone either way. Did you think of the negative consequences if you were not able to handle this situation properly? Like, did you get a state of shock? Did you go into a state of shock or something like that?
Sometimes, yeah, you can say it happens often. Like when you just end up
Yeah.
the call, then you think like, oh, I should have said something else, and should,
Hmm. That
sometimes it
happens to
happens.
me a lot. Yeah. That happens to me during Clapingo sessions. Like some people, they ask me for advice. I give them whatever comes to my mind in the moment, right? But as soon as the session is over, then it comes to me, oh my God, if I could have said this would have helped this person even more. I wish I get to talk to that person again, maybe.
Ma'am,
Right? Yeah.
this is something that happening with me, in tech, man. To be very honest, because right now I am in the part of a training. Okay. And
Hmm.
when I just try to explain them, right, especially in
Hmm.
English, so sometimes it happens
Hmm.
like, uh, sometimes I just think that I should have said something. This one is the right
Hmm.
word that I should have said over there, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is happening with me these days. I don't know.
Okay. Right.
Basic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
so
continue.
do you have a question related to this? I mean, do you want to ask me a question related to this? Then I can answer it. I can listen to your question first, then answer, or I
Like
can,
like
yeah.
question. I'm not getting any question regarding this particular thing
Okay.
right now.
So you just, but this is a source of frustration for you. Is that what you're
You
trying
can
to say?
say that you can say that sometime it happened like I'm not able to explain my perspective to other person, that yeah, this is what I
Okay.
genuinely, yeah, think about it. So sometimes it
Hmm.
happens with me.
Okay. So you said that you're going through a training period. So maybe the information that you have to convey is new for you.
Yeah.
Once this information gets a little old for your brain, then you will be able to manipulate this information in a way that is most suitable to the listener. This will come with time. You will have to wait this period out, right?
Right.
So, because right now your brain is also processing whatever information you are learning during your training process. So so what was happening with me during my first couple of months here at Clapingo, that I worked on my English many years ago, right? So when a beginner or somebody who's in an intermediate kind of, who's not quite comfortable with English, but quite
Right.
comfortable with answering 2 to 3 lines in answer, that person asks me for advice that how do I build the endurance to talk in English, right? Or maybe something which is a little even more unexpected for me, right? Then I have to think very hard, what did I go through, right? So I will probably give them whatever advice comes to my mind. But later on, my brain is able to think of presenting that advice in a better manner where I could have given them a more actionable tip, right? But at that time, I had to calm myself down with the fact that I tried my best in that moment,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Now I've interacted with hundreds of learners, right? So I
Right.
know what is the most important point. When somebody tells me that my timing is not good enough, right? I think of things much later, right? Then I tell them this is very likely to happen with all of us because English is a second language,
Yeah.
right? We
Right.
are trying to do 2 things. We are trying to figure out the most appropriate word, and we are trying to convey the content also,
Right.
which will be suitable for the listener, right? So once you get familiar with the content, once you get familiar with what are the possible, your brain will know that what are the most common kind of problems your clients will encounter, right? What are the most popular solutions? What are the most optimized, best possible solutions for their problems, right? Then once in a while, there will be a unique client who has a very unique problem, who is an outlier, right? So over there, your brain will probably face some challenge. But when you are very thorough with the content, then you can keep, basically you will be required to say the same thing again and again, right? Once you have done that many times, you will be able to manipulate that solution in a way that is best, that is easiest to understand for the listener, for your client.
Right.
And this feeling that you get, that I wish I could have said that, I wish I could have said that, that will reduce substantially. I can't say it will go away completely, because as I said, there will always be an outlier client who has a unique problem. So in the moment, whatever your brain will able to process, you will say, and afterwards you will get ideas, right? But most of your clients will require very obvious kind of solution. So those you will be able to present effortlessly, or your delivery will improve with every time you handle a client, right? So this is a very uncomfortable process. The process of getting better at something, it can feel uncomfortable sometimes, because one moment you feel that, oh my god, my control over my delivery is so good,